know this situation is serious and it is something that means something, okay? You're going to be looking at this bridge. You don't want to be there. We are standing right now in Monarch Tower across the way from this tornado, and this is a real deal, folks. This is something that we talk about all the time that you don't get to see. Well, you're seeing it right now, and this is why we tell people to be inside.
Thought I was going to die. It was like, I can't even explain it now that I think back on it. Like, it was completely, I wanted to cry, and at the same time, it was like, I didn't know what to do, I didn't know what to expect, and then all of a sudden, everything was just still. And we went and we looked out the window, and my aunt's house, she lived across the street, and her house was gone. And it was completely destroyed, and my mom started bawling, and I started crying, and it was devastating.
Really apt. We had to walk to her house, and there were just trees down all over her street. There was a woman's house who was collapsed like a deck of cards, like just one wall on top of another. There were wires everywhere. Some guy's laundry was in my grandma's yard. Like, there was just some, it was crazy.
I didn't know if my parents were even okay. One of my friends, actually, her house got picked up and the whole foundation was moved, and it fell over.
I walked down, I got over the trees, I walked down to Cathedral, and you could see teachers coming out of the building. And cars were completely flipped over. Completely flipped over. And I'm laying there, and all of a sudden you hear this noise. And if you ever gone to a car wash and you go through the dryer part, that's what it sounded like to me. It sounded like the house was shaking, and the lights flickered, and I remember saying to my mom, "What is this? Like, what is happening?" And she's like, just stay down, just pray, it's gonna be okay. And that's what I did. I said, please just get me through this. I really don't want to die. And all of a sudden it was just quiet. And I went upstairs and I looked, and I didn't even recognize my own yard.
Most people don't even say that they live near the old cathedral or they're going to the old cathedral, because the real cathedral is on Surrey Road. This is just a temporary place for us to stay. And that's exactly what it should be, temporary. We should be returning where we're supposed to be, back in Springfield.
I have 2 brothers and 4 sisters, all a lot older than me, and then my parents, and then all their brothers and sisters. They all went to Cathedral, and I know when my parents were going, they're like, well, I hope one day we can send our children here. And I think it would be terrible for the people like us who actually have hopes for Cathedral.
91, and my dad's like, I don't really like going to West Springfield, so you probably should go to Cathedral. And we were discussing it one night at dinner, and then my mom went online, and it was the last day for enrollment.
I mean, if I had the opportunity, I would still go here. Again, I had great teachers. I mean, we're like a family. I know my teachers on not a friend basis, but more than just, hey, you're my teacher. They'll stay after for me. They help me out a lot, especially if I need help, if I'm not doing good in the class. And the students too. I mean, you're not going to be as close with your peers if you go anywhere else.
Actually, our class, because like we all made the decision to come here, and like full knowing that we would not have an actual school to go to. You know, we all knew that we were coming here, and we still chose to.
Who would send their kids here when there's going to be a new school?
I would. If I still lived here, then I would.
school on Surrey Road.
My kids need to experience the snail name.
Oh, yes.